I'm Jakari Jackson for the InfoWars Nightly News. We have a new article on Infowars.com. Headline: Feinstein rolls out draconian attack on the Second Amendment. Now, Mrs. Feinstein has been an anti-gun advocate for years, even though she herself is a concealed carry license holder.
I know the urge to arm yourself because that's what I did. I was trained in firearms. I'd walk to the hospital when my husband was sick. I carried a concealed weapon. I made the determination that if somebody was going to try to take me out, I was going to take them with me.
Now, as the article points out, the purpose is to dry up the supply of these weapons over time, Feinstein said. Therefore, there is no sunset on this bill. Obama has vowed to sign Feinstein's legislation if it clears significant hurdles in Congress. Now, the article goes on to point out 158, not 120, but 158 different firearms that will be banned, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. But I want to take this time to remind you, if you are a Second Amendment advocate, if you're the most gung-ho gun guy to the person who may someday purchase a firearm, you need to get on the phone, you need to write your letters, write your emails, show up at your state houses, your courthouses, your city council meetings, and tell people that you do not want this passed. Even places here like in Austin, Texas, Texas is not always going to be a pro-gun area, as we've seen the mayor of Austin come out, as well as the mayor of Dallas, in support of Obama's 23 executive actions. So even here in the heart of Texas, you still have to fight for your rights. Now, keeping that in mind, let's take a look at the 158 different types of guns that will be banned. Obviously, we can't name them all, but I'll name some of the more popular types. All AK types of rifles, that includes, of course, the AK-47, all AR types, and that includes the AR-15, which was allegedly used in the Sandy Hook shooting, even though reports are contradictory that he left the gun in his car and actually used handguns in the shooting in the school. All Thompson styles of rifles, that includes the infamous Tommy gun. I'm not sure the last time a Tommy gun has been used in a mass shooting since Prohibition, and also all Uzi type of pistols. So all these mini guns and many more. And if you say, hey, nobody needs to have those type of guns anyway, that may be your argument, but think about this. This ban will not just ban what's listed here on the screen you saw there, but also things with any type of military characteristic, things such as cosmetic features like pistol grips. A pistol grip does not change the capacity of your weapon. It doesn't even make it more accurate necessarily. But let's say for whatever reason you want to equip an over and under shotgun with a pistol grip. That would be deemed an assault weapon, not just an assault rifle, but an assault weapon, and that would be banned under the new Feinstein bill. So keep these things in mind. Call your legislators, anybody you can, and let them know that you do not want this draconian bill in your state. Now, before we end this piece, let's look at the absurdity at this latest rally, whatever you want to call it, where they put up 2 ropes to protect these dangerous firearms, as if somebody was going to run up to the stand, jam a magazine into these weapons and start to fire.
We see here there are 2 lines of stanchions, 2 lines of ropes. That is because it is not legal for these weapons to never mind be in the United States Capitol, but also to be in the D.C. It breaks the D.C. gun laws. So they got special permission from the D.C. police office and also from the Capitol Police. And you see there are a lot of Capitol Police officers around here, but those are the rules to make sure that the guns are behind those 2 stanchions, that we're not allowed back there either.
You saw the Philadelphia mayor in that speech. He gave talk about these guns are weapons of mass destruction, not the drones that are killing people, little children in Pakistan, but these weapons that need a willing operator. These are the weapons of mass destruction.
Weapons of mass destruction are destroying our communities, our streets, and our families. Tell any mother or father or sister or brother or niece or nephew why their family member is no longer with us because of those kinds of weapons and handguns with high-capacity magazines. Why does anyone need one of those?
And even though a child was able to defend himself with the AR-15, we can show you that clip.
15-year-old at home with his 12-year-old sister when burglars try to break in.
That's when investigators say the boy grabbed his dad's assault rifle and started shooting, and he hit one of the men repeatedly.
A 15-year-old boy and his 12-year-old sister had been home alone in the Mount Royal Village subdivision. Then about 2:30, a pair of home invaders tried the front and back doors, then broke a back window.
But nobody wants to talk about these things. They only want to talk about the tragedies and the heartaches these things cause. You saw them parade out the survivors of Virginia Tech and other shootings. And all due respect to the survivors of those things, but they never want to talk about the children that have been able to defend themselves, the mothers that have defended their families. They never want to talk about that. It's always look at these victims, and much respect to the victims. But victims, you may someday need a gun to defend yourself against tyranny, so don't let this thing just run over you. Don't get caught up in an emotional sweep. And that goes for everybody. You may need a gun to defend yourself, even if you don't necessarily believe in guns. One may save you one day. I'm Jakari Jackson for the InfoBoards Nightly News.